Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today I am platooned up with Pgilby, and this is an old game. And by old I mean like New Year's, around that time. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on right now. People are stuck at home, maybe working from home. Um, what can I say? Stay safe, wash your hands, and enjoy the content. I know my last few videos were a little bit on the negative side. Which I'm not really going to apologize for because it's pretty unbelievable that anyone could stay positive all the time, especially playing video games. Focusing more so on a game where you depend on 14 other players to outplay 15 other players, and all the skill levels are different. The experience levels are different, and I, like my friends, are super competitive, and being super competitive, the downfall of it is when you continually have bad games, you can tend to have negative reactions. So even though I'm generally overly optimistic, I still can be very negative when things don't go my way. But generally it takes a few games in a row to really knock me sideways. So I decided to lift things up and show this awesome replay I had in my Lowe and talk a little bit about this map. So the spawns had changed. I know I've talked about this before in previous games, but spawns have changed on this now, whereas the Western red team on this game, they used to spawn mostly in J2 where their base is, but now they spawn split in like E2 and J2, and it makes it difficult for the Eastern team, Northeast green team in this scenario. Makes it difficult to make the North relevant at all because the Reds are already in the North. So to cross the field, you really risk yourself getting spotted and taken out. So what I generally like to do when I'm on the Northeast is win the city, move back up the 9 line, defend your base, clean up anything there, and then figure out where to go from there. At that point, you can probably cross the field safely, or if you need to go back into town and move towards the red base, you can do that at that time. And if I'm the red side or the west side, then I like to move down into like E8, F8. There's like a little ditch there, and you can spot in this scenario, the green team sitting by the bridge on the hill in E9. A lot of times that little hill on the 9 line will be scattered with teammates or opponents, and they'll just be trying to get shots into the open field. So if you're down in the gully in EF8, you will keep them lit up for your team, and you will have a monster game generally. As long as there's people covering you, and there's already covering you, you can have an awesome game from that side. But we're not on that side. We got the west side, which I think it's not the harder side. It's only harder because you have to hope that your teammates work with you, not against you. What I mean by against, like, I understand there's people that prefer to play maps differently than me, and that's fine, but are they going to play them intelligently? What I mean by that is they can take the north if they want. But are they going to sit in the open once they're spotted and just die? Or are they actually going to move into positions where maybe artillery can cover them, what have you? And in this case, it looked like they put up a good fight. I mean, the early part of the game, they crossed the field, they got into the houses in like B2. It just didn't seem like the rest of the team coordinated crossfires, and that will definitely get you killed when you're in a field for sure. But I just feel like Red has such the advantage in the north at the beginning of the game that I don't go there anymore. Even in a light tank, I don't tend to head over there. I used to go D4, and you can have some monster games in D4, but if you have no support, then you pretty much can just kiss your tank goodbye. Your team will not push out and risk their lives to save you in D4. So just know that even though you can have a huge game in D4, you run the risk of getting shot from like J6, F1, B1, D1. Like you just are in a huge crossfire if your team has not giving you any support there. Alright, but in this game, I actually had a lot of support in the city. We won that pretty handedly, and then I decided to go back. Pgilby helped push a little bit further to get them safely across the river in K5. So he helped them get across there with his vision, and then he came back up to help me clear off the cap. Now, as we're clearing off the cap, we realize that the rest of their tanks are down by their cap. So sorry, I had a brain fart there. Alright, so now what me and Gilby want to do is get to our teammates as fast as we can. We still have Artie support, and if you're watching down in the south, we had a tank in like G2, G3, which was creating a crossfire for our team. However, their team put our crossfire into a crossfire and took that medium out, which is a really good play on their part. Now our two heavy tanks are kind of positioned to where they can get surrounded. As I'm heading over there to help them, I spot Artie, take Artie out. That's huge. Now I feel like this game is in our hands. I'm not sure how much health those two heavies have, but we have Artie. I still have Gilbs, so me and him are going to be coordinating, working together. I'm already having a monster game, 3,000 damage, 1,200 blocked, 500 assisted, and there's still 3 red tanks on the board. Now Gilbs takes the bat chat off, so then we're down to 5v2, and they're starting to surround our heavy tanks. You can see my T29 is not very healthy, and their Object 432 kills T29, leaving our heavy tank War 110 by himself, and then he gets taken out by the Nomad. But we know where they are, we can position ourselves. Hopefully Artie can hit one of them, maybe do some damage, and even though he goes dark, I throw a blind shot over there and I get a critical hit. I don't know if he has a repair kit, so I'm not going to shoot another time there. I'm just hoping that Gilbs can light them up. I take that back. Apparently I do take another blind shot. We don't have to worry about Artie, but they do. And this is, I know my last game I was like, Artie never moves or does anything important. And our Artie starts progressing down the 9 line, which I think is really strange. They may be heading down the K line up the 9 line, and our Artie may potentially run right into them. Whereas I think Artie should move over to the 1 line if he wants to stay safe. I'm not sure really what was going through his head there. But since he was moving, he was not ready to shoot at these guys, unfortunately. So he's not going to be fully aimed, and they're starting to push on Gilbs. And that was definitely not something that we expected them to do. Push back up the hill, and they take Gilbs out. So now it's me and Artie left to fend off against these two. Now when I shot there, I was spotted. So I know they know where I'm at. I can take the 432 out with one swing. I know Artie can hit those tanks both pretty hard. If he lands the engine deck, Object 432 has a gigantic engine deck. The Nomad is a pretty, I mean, it's a okay armored heavy tank, but it doesn't take Artie very well. So I'm thinking I got this one, and what I should do is just post up behind one of these houses. But I don't want one of them to slither down the K line unspotted and get to flank me. So I'm actually going to try to move into a position where I'm going to be able to spot them. And sure enough, I do spot them. Object 432 is spotted. I'm looking for a shot. And there's the Nomad. The Nomad has 600 hit points. I shoot on the move and I miss my shot. They get 2 shots into me and I'm dead. Okay, so not the most positive ending, but we still have Artie, right? Well, I'm not too excited about it. Neither is Guilds. We're actually beating ourselves up. We felt like we could have had better comms, better strategy, maybe deal with the T-32 a little bit faster, and then get down to help our teammates. And I think that's maybe what we did wrong. Spoiler alert, our Artie does not win. I think he stays alive. He just runs around. There's not much time left. Um, but props to the 432. 7 kills. If he finds Artie, he gets a Radley Walters. The Nomad, 2 kills, but once we get to end game stats, you'll see he had a really nice game. So we play another game in between, we come back to it to look at the stats. And take first and third, our Huntsman did some good work. Our Artie did stay alive with only 1,300 damage, but almost 6k from the Nomad, 2,007 kills with the 432. Those two worked together better than me and Guilds did. We were unable to pull it off, but we still had fun. We learned from it and we moved forward. You guys stay safe. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.